Have you ever noticed how we try to hide everything that cracked inside us? As if every flaw were a shameful secret. As if every wound needed to be swept under the rug before anyone could see it. We live like broken vessels patched in a rush, always pretending nothing happened, always afraid someone might notice what shattered us. But there is a completely different path, a quiet, almost secret one the Japanese developed over centuries. Imagine an artisan holding a broken bowl. He doesn't try to disguise the fractures. He highlights them with liquid gold. He transforms the weakest point into the strongest. He doesn't hide the pain, he illuminates it. Today, I want to show you how that same process can happen inside you. How your pain can stop being a limitation and become your most powerful mark. How you can become someone unbreakable, not because you never fall apart, but because you know exactly how to rebuild yourself. Kintsugi was born in the 15th century when a shogun named Ashikaga Yoshimasa broke his favorite tea bowl. He sent it to China to be repaired, but it came back crudely fixed, held together with heavy metal staples that only made the damage more obvious. Unsatisfied, he asked Japanese artisans to find a more beautiful way to restore what had been broken. That's when they created the technique of joining the pieces with lacquer mixed with powdered gold. What began as an aesthetic solution became a profound philosophy. The idea that what breaks does not lose its value, it gains a story. More than that, it can become more beautiful than before. Eastern mentality treats imperfection as part of the natural cycle of life, while Western mentality often tries to erase what happened, erase the damage, erase the difficult chapters. While we try to replace what breaks, the Japanese tradition asks, why hide the place where you overcame pain? And this is the heart of Kintsugi. The fracture is not the end. It is a moment of revelation. It is the point where your true essence appears. It is where what you believe, what truly matters, becomes visible. A person marked by Kintsugi is not someone who merely suffered. It is someone who learned to transform suffering into strength. And that is the insight that can turn your life upside down. Your pain does not decrease your value. It reveals what you're made of. The first thing you need to understand is this. Most people don't break only once. They break several times throughout life, but they pretend it was just a crack, something small, something that doesn't matter. You've probably done this yourself, saying, "I'm fine," when inside everything was scattered on the floor. Kintsugi asks you to do the opposite. It asks you to stop running from the truth and finally sit with the pieces. Imagine placing them on a wooden table, hearing the faint sound of each fragment touching the surface. This moment is uncomfortable. It forces you to admit what happened. But without that first honesty, there is no reconstruction. So the beginning of your inner Kintsugi is learning to name what broke. Betrayal, burnout, a relationship that drained every drop of your spirit, a dream that collapsed, a season where you lost yourself. When you name the fracture, you stop being controlled by it. The second step is subtle but powerful. Understand that the break is information. A crack is not proof of weakness. It is a message. Something in you reached its limit. Something in your role, your boundaries, your beliefs, your pace. Something was unsustainable. The break is the moment where life whispered, or sometimes screamed, that you could not continue that way. And when you start reading the message instead of fighting it, the pain gains a purpose. There's also something almost no one notices. Kintsugi is not fast. The repairs take time. The gold takes time to settle. The lacquer takes time to dry. And this is where the modern world struggles. We want a fix by next week. We want clarity tomorrow. We want to jump from broken to strong without crossing the desert in the middle. But Japanese wisdom teaches the opposite. The strength you admire in others was built in seasons where nobody was watching, in the quiet, in the slow, in the invisible discipline of staying with yourself until the gold finally appears. And yes, there is a moment when you need to take action, the moment of reconstruction. This is where you decide, if I'm going to rebuild, it won't be the same. It will be better. Maybe this means new boundaries. Maybe it means finally saying no to what has been stealing your peace for years. Maybe it means rebuilding your financial life, your emotional life, your spiritual life, your physical life. Every person has a different version of the gold they need. For some, the gold is courage. For others, honesty. For others, rest. For others, discipline. But the key is this: you don't rebuild alone. Every piece is glued by choice after choice. I will not repeat that cycle. I will not stay where I was wounded. I will not deny what my heart already knows. Each sentence is a thread of gold. There's also a moment when the repaired vessel is placed back on the shelf. A moment of exposure. It's that vulnerable instant when you reappear in the world with your marks visible. And it's frightening. Showing your scars, owning your story, revealing what shaped you. All of this brings fear. But this is exactly where kintsugi reveals itself. Your scars are no longer signs of defeat. They become your proof of survival. They show what tried to break you and failed. Think of the strongest people you've ever met. None of them were untouched. None of them lived perfect lives. They all carry gold in their cracks. Their power wasn't born from easy victories. It was built on scars that shone despite the pain. And here's the truth the Japanese understood long before we did. A perfect vessel is forgettable. But a repaired vessel, one marked by resilience and rebuilt identity, becomes unforgettable. The same happens with you. Your softness remains, but your edges become sharper. Your presence grows deeper. Your heart stops fearing the past, because it has already been turned into gold. This is what turning pain into power really means. Not denying what happened, but integrating it. Not pretending you're strong, becoming strong. Not surviving the break, mastering it. When you begin to see yourself this way, you stop asking, why me? And start asking, what can I build from this? That question alone changes everything. Because it takes you out of the position of victim and places you in the role of the artisan of your own soul. You might be thinking, but I don't have time to heal, or I'm not strong enough to rebuild myself, or even, this philosophy sounds beautiful, but my life is too chaotic for something tão profundo assim. And I understand, because that's exactly how most people feel when they're standing in the middle of their own ruins. But here's the truth. Kintsugi was never about having time. It was about having intention. The repairs happen slowly, in the in-between moments, not in grand gestures. One honest conversation with yourself in the car. One boundary you enforce, even trembling. One night where you sit quietly instead of drowning your thoughts in distractions. And if you think this isn't for you, l'embrasse. Kintsugi is not for the perfect. It was created for the broken. It's for the exhausted mother, the overworked student. If your life feels messy, you're not disqualified. You're the exact material this transformation was designed for. Here's the final truth. You were never meant to walk through life pretending to be unbroken. Your strength doesn't come from hiding the cracks. It comes from honoring them. Every scar you carry is a line of gold waiting to be revealed. A reminder that you are still here, still rising, still capable of turning everything that tried to destroy you into the very thing that shapes your power. If today's message spoke to you, take a breath and let it settle. Let it remind you that nothing in you is wasted. Not the pain, not the mistakes, not the seasons that felt impossible. All of it can become part of your reconstruction. So step back into the world with your gold visible. Own your story. Wear your fractures like armor. And remember, monsters are not born, they're forged. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video next week. We're building something powerful together, one mindset shift at a time.